My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N-O''H-A-R-A. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. About 12:23 last night, Minneapolis Police received a 911 call of a hit and run at the corner behind me. Police officers, firefighters, and EMS responded to this location and found half a dozen people injured from a hit and run. People at the scene were triaged and they were transported to Hennepin Healthcare. One person, a 16-year-old female, was pronounced deceased at the hospital. An adult remains in critical condition at the hospital. The others, thankfully, have non-life-threatening injuries. Shortly thereafter, officers began receiving calls from the community regarding the vehicle that struck those individuals. With the assistance of the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office as well as the Minnesota State Patrol, Minneapolis police officers were able to make an arrest on the 2300 block of Bryant Avenue North of the individual who struck these people here. The information in this investigation continues to be preliminary, but what we have at this point is we believe a physical fight occurred at this location prior to the 911 call. It involved teenagers and teenage females and other people who were here. It appears that the suspect who drove the vehicle injuring these people was present during that fight. At some point, that suspect got in an SUV, backed up down Hennepin Avenue, and drove into a crowd that was between the sidewalk and the roadway of at least a dozen people. The video of this incident is absolutely horrific. There aren't words to describe how tragic and senseless it is to lose a 16-year-old female over something like this. However, we are thankful because it's clear we could have had more fatalities and more people injured. There were at least a dozen people in the immediate path of the vehicle as the person drove through the crowd, but thankfully no one else was injured. We will continue to investigate this incident, as senseless as it is, and try and determine what the motive for this could possibly be with Minneapolis police investigators as well as with our law enforcement partners. And we're asking other people from the community that may have information related to this event to contact Crime Stoppers and to please provide us that information. But again, tragically, there's a 16-year-old female that's dead. There's one adult that remains in critical condition in the hospital, and 4 others that have serious but non-life-threatening injuries. At this time, I'll open it up for any questions.
Chief, do you know if this suspect, was impaired in any way?
That's under investigation, but we don't know that at this time.
Is she familiar to you at all, to law enforcement?
She does have a history, yes. Nothing significant, but there is a past history.
Was it far away that your officers tracked this car?
From here to the 2300 block of Bryant Avenue North. And it was within about an hour of the incident that there was an arrest.
Have other people involved in that fight been cooperative, speaking with investigators?
We have a number of leads that we are working through, as well as a number of surveillance and cell phone video evidence that we're going through.
Do you think there could be more arrests to come?
There could be more arrests. There was obviously an altercation before this. However, it's clear that the person under arrest and being booked for murder is the one that's responsible for driving the vehicle through the crowd. However, there was a fight before this where it does appear that at least one female was injured significantly prior to being run over. So we're obviously investigating that incident and everything else that precipitated this.
Was that the victim who lost their life?
We don't know. I don't have information relative to which establishment they may have been in, but I believe the one specifically on this side at this corner was closed last night. But it's common for people to be walking around on Hennepin Avenue between the different bars. We have a very robust late night safety plan with dozens of extra officers working. They were present last night, but this did happen prior to the bar close, where we tend to shut down traffic and try to get people out of bars as safely as possible prior to any assaults happening.
Was there any kind of pursuit between?
There was no vehicle pursuit. Yep.
We talked to a couple of business owners from this building as well as some private security from this building behind us, and they describe what happens here on a Friday and Saturday night, almost like a zoo-like atmosphere. How would you describe it?
It's late at night downtown in the city where we have a number of bars. People are drinking alcohol, they're partying. We have a lot of young people that come into the downtown for that purpose. And there is disorderly behavior related to that, as there would be anywhere. We can have, hundreds, if not thousands of people coming in and getting drunk. That's why we do have the late night safety plan, to try and let people come in and drink and party all they want, but to try and get people out of here safely. It's not uncommon that people drink, they get mad, wind up getting into a fight. A problem that we have had, people go to their cars and then get a gun to try and settle some minor dispute. That's why we do have the staffing that we have to try and keep people safe. But this, just like any of those other examples of violence, it's just completely senseless.
And then I know it's not new for you to see young people involved in stuff like this, but the thing we hear today is, what is a 16-year-old doing downtown Minneapolis at 12:30 a.m.?
Yeah.
What's your response to that?
Well, at least three of the individuals, the girl that died, as well as two others, were teenage females. And while we do clearly we have a problem with juvenile crime in the city, I have no information specific to these individuals, and I'm not their parent, right? So I can tell you my kid isn't going to be hanging out on Hennepin Avenue at 12:30 at night in the middle of all this stuff going on here with bars, but that's not something in this situation that we see as having been preventable.
You said there were two other teenage girls. Were those two among the 5 injured?
Yes.
And then were you able at all to gather what might have sparked that fight over the car?
No, we don't know that. We just know that it happened based on video evidence, but we don't have information regarding a motive to that fight or to then, this assault.
Was the driver under the influence of anything?
That's under investigation. I don't have any information specific to that.
What about those teenagers?
I don't have information specific to that. Yep.
Do we know if the driver's license was revoked, suspended?
I don't have information related to that. It's a 22-year-old female that was arrested.
Chief, can you say, was this woman using her vehicle as a weapon?
Absolutely. There's no question. I mean, thank God, when we initially hear something like this, based on what's happened in other cities in recent years, we're deeply concerned, is this incident random? Or even, is it potentially a terrorist event where we might have to worry about the vehicle going then somewhere else and striking people at that time of night? But this was clearly not random. This individual was present for that fight that was happening with the crowd of people. So clearly targeted by this person, as senseless and inexplainable as that is, it is not random.
I think somebody might ask this, but any idea if she knows the victim, the woman in the car?
We don't know that at this time, but it's clear she was present with that group.
Chief, this was caught on video. That video is circulating on social media. When you have that happen, where something like this so sensitive is now out there, how does that change things either for your investigation or just, what's your takeaway when you see that starting to be shared? Because I know the fact it was recorded has a lot more people paying attention to it.
Sure. I think there's actually multiple videos that are probably out there on social media, private videos, as well as videos from public and private cameras here. There's a police trailer camera right there. I would just say this incident in general shows how important it is for the Minneapolis police to be prepared for any possibility at any given time. And I'm just incredibly thankful that our police officers so quickly jumped into action trying to save lives here, but also with our law enforcement partners to track down this person and bring them in. But clearly it shows that we need to be prepared for any possibility at any given time. Thank you.